Have you ever noticed that some days you wake up feeling perfectly fine, and yet within a few minutes you feel anxious, distracted, or strangely exhausted? Nothing bad happened, and yet something inside you has already changed. Now think about this carefully. What was the very first thing you looked at this morning? Before speaking to your family, before stepping outside, before becoming fully present, what did your eyes consume? For millions of people, the answer is simple. A phone screen, a few notifications, a few headlines, a few reels, and a few minutes of scrolling. It seems harmless. After all, you're just looking at information. But what if doom scrolling is doing far more than stealing your time? What if it is quietly shaping your consciousness? Ancient Indian sages understood something about attention thousands of years ago that modern neuroscience is only beginning to explain. They believed that whatever repeatedly enters your awareness leaves an imprint on the mind. In Sanskrit, these impressions are called Sanskar. Every experience leaves a trace. Every image, emotion, and thought leaves an imprint. These impressions slowly influence how we think, feel, and experience life. If that is true, then doom scrolling is not just a bad habit. It is a continuous stream of impressions entering the deepest layers of your mind. And that raises an important question. What is all that scrolling actually doing to you? Chapter 1. The most powerful habit in your life. Most people are careful about what they eat. They avoid spoiled food. They check ingredients. They worry about toxins entering the body. But very few people ask, what am I feeding my mind? Imagine eating junk food every day for years. No one would expect good health. Yet many people spend hours consuming fear, outrage, comparison, gossip, negativity, and endless stimulation while expecting inner peace. The mind also has a diet, and the quality of that diet matters. The yogic traditions never viewed the senses as passive instruments. The eyes were considered gateways. What repeatedly entered through those gateways eventually shaped the inner world. This is why sages paid so much attention to where their awareness rested. Because attention is powerful. Where attention goes, energy follows. Where energy flows, habits form. And habits eventually become character. Today, our attention is constantly being pulled in countless directions. Doom scrolling becomes dangerous because thousands of impressions accumulate day after day, slowly shaping the mind. Every scroll leaves something behind, and over time, those impressions become the background atmosphere of your thoughts. Chapter 2. What doom scrolling does to your brain. Now let's look at what modern neuroscience says. Because what ancient sages discovered through observation and meditation, science is beginning to confirm in its own way. Many people assume they are simply watching content. But the brain is doing much more than watching. It is responding. Deep within the brain is a structure called the amygdala. Its job is survival. Even when you are physically safe, a constant stream of conflict, outrage, fear, and negativity can keep parts of your brain in a low-grade state of stress. Your body may be resting, but your nervous system is repeatedly reacting. Scientists have also identified something called mirror neurons. These neurons help us understand and empathize with others. When you watch someone experiencing fear, anger, sadness, or excitement, parts of your brain mirror aspects of that experience. The more negativity you consume, the more negativity your mind rehearses. Then comes the dopamine loop, perhaps the most addictive part of doom scrolling. Every swipe contains uncertainty. The next post might be funny, shocking, inspiring, or controversial. That unpredictability keeps the brain engaged and encourages endless scrolling. Minutes become hours, and gradually, the brain becomes accustomed to constant stimulation. Silence feels boring. Stillness feels uncomfortable. A walk feels less exciting than a scream. Not because life has become dull, but because the brain has become dependent on novelty. We have more stimulation than ever before. Yet many people feel less peaceful than ever before. Chapter 3. The Mind's Biggest Lie. There is another reason doom scrolling is so difficult to escape. The mind always has a justification. It says, I'll relax later. I'll disconnect later. I'll meditate later. I'll focus on myself once everything is done. But have you noticed something? Everything is never done. There is always something else demanding your attention. The mind keeps promising peace in the future. Yet the future never arrives. Because the problem is not the amount of information. The problem is the belief that more information will somehow create peace. It won't. The ancient sages understood a simple truth. Inner peace is not found at the end of endless activity. It is found through awareness in the middle of life. If you wait for your schedule to become empty before finding stillness, you may wait forever. Life will always provide another demand on your attention. The plate is never empty, but presence is available right now. And doom scrolling keeps pulling us away from that reality. It fills every empty moment with noise. And when noise becomes constant, silence starts feeling unfamiliar. Chapter 4. The Eye Behind the Eye. Thousands of years ago, the Kena Upanishad asked a profound question. Who is the one that truly sees? Your eyes see the world. But who is aware of what the eyes see? Your ears hear sounds. But who is aware of what the ears hear? Your mind produces thoughts. But who is aware of those thoughts? The sages called this deeper awareness the witness, the observer, the Drshta. Most of the time we become completely absorbed in what we are observing. We get lost in headlines, lost in videos, lost in arguments, lost in endless streams of content. But spiritual growth begins when attention shifts from the content to the observer. When you scroll unconsciously, the content controls you. When you become aware that you are scrolling, something changes. The witness awakens. And in that moment, freedom becomes possible. You begin to notice, this is fear. This is comparison. This is anger. This is craving. Instead of becoming trapped inside every emotion, you simply observe it. Awareness creates distance, and that distance creates freedom. The Upanishad repeatedly point toward this truth. You are not every thought. You are not every impulse. You are not every emotion. You are the awareness within which these experiences appear. The stronger that awareness becomes, the weaker compulsive habits become. This is why self-awareness is more powerful than willpower alone. Because once the witness is awake, unconscious patterns lose much of their control. Chapter 5. How to take back control. The Yoga Sutras offer a powerful concept called Pratyahar. It means consciously regulating what enters through the senses, not rejecting technology, not abandoning the modern world, but using it wisely. Start with something simple. For the first 30 minutes after waking up, avoid your phone. Let your mind wake naturally in silence. Do the same before sleep. The final 30 minutes of your day should not belong to algorithms. They should belong to you. Practice visual fasting. Give your mind occasional breaks from stimulation. And perhaps most importantly, become selective about what you consume. Choose carefully, because every impression leaves a trace. Your attention is one of the most valuable things you possess. Treat it that way. The greatest battle of our time may not be for money, status, or power. It may be for attention. Because attention shapes thought. Thought shapes behavior, and behavior shapes destiny. Every day, countless things compete for your attention. But attention is more than a resource. It is the direction of your life. Whatever repeatedly occupies your attention eventually shapes your mind. Whatever shapes your mind eventually shapes your destiny. So protect your attention. Protect your inner world, because the peace you seek will never be found at the bottom of an endless feed. It is waiting in the awareness that exists before the next scroll.